Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And shedding through the tackle. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Trubisky on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now it's Trubisky. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now Trubisky to throw. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The 1st down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now Wentz again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And now because of the sack, it's 3rd and goal from the 14. Now Wentz on the bootleg. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott from the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the 1st half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustment time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want.
Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Run.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. Now Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Now the return man. This is Benny Cunningham. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. While we have a second, Charles, the Patriots, of course, back in the Super Bowl, getting the 37-31 victory over KC in the AFC title game. Great game, but you know the Patriots.
Nobody believes in them.
Yeah, right. They're playing that underdog card, but I thought it was funny because after the game, they asked Tom Brady, "Were you guys just trying to use that for your own motivation?" He said, "No comment," because they were. They know they're not the underdog.
They know it, but when you've been that great for this long,
you need something.
You've got to find something different. And Tom Brady, I've got to give him credit. Somehow he made his team buy that and believe in it when no one else in the country did. And I think it really started with their first playoff game this year when the Chargers came to town. I know I picked the Chargers against them. A lot of people picked the Chargers. They took that as, well, no one believes in us. Everyone thinks we're not as good. They were just wrong about that part, as we were wrong about the Chargers beating them.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Chicago first down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky. Now Trubisky on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Rodney McLeod. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game. The Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, what was it, 1959, 58, 59? That's when the NFL really came into prominence. And it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball. They scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score for
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
To throw is Wentz. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. Taken from just outside the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall...
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Brandon Graham in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. He'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron, a 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickel Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation. When I saw it live, thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still don't want pass interference to become a reviewable call. The game flow is paramount to me. Let's not slow it down any more than it already is.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope, then you start doing it with everything.
Well,
right?
next thing you know, we'll be reviewing holding. And by the way, you can probably call holding just about every play in the NFL.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to run with a J. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. Throwing is Wentz. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Come on, gotta go.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to let it go again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with a J. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
His throw incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now Wentz. They set up the screen to a J. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
On second down, here's Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 76 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Cunningham now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle.
Now Trubisky lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Robinson with a big catch. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. On second down, Trubisky. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. They'll indeed go for it with Trubisky. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys will take over at their own 44. Rinsing the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This is a giant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. The 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Smallwood on the return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute off.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 60 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down. Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And the tackle there by Chris Long. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the return will stop right around the 25. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. The 2nd down and 10th there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Going long here for Wallace. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And his throw here is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now it's Trubisky. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky, escaping the pressure right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend.